Imagine actively trying to violently eliminate your bitter enemies one day, and then happily singing festive holiday songs with them the very next morning. During the absolutely freezing winter of 1914, the brutally violent trenches of the First World War witnessed one of the most incredible and completely spontaneous miracles in all of human military history. Along the heavily fortified and incredibly deadly Western Front, tens of thousands of heavily armed British and German soldiers were permanently stuck in deep freezing muddy ditches just a few hundred yards apart. The massive, bloody conflict had already claimed hundreds of thousands of lives, and both exhausted sides were fully expecting to continue the terrible slaughter throughout the entire holiday season. But on the freezing dark evening of Christmas Eve, the tired British troops were shocked to suddenly see hundreds of tiny glowing lights slowly appearing all across the dangerous enemy trenches. The heavily armed German soldiers had bravely placed hundreds of brightly lit small evergreen trees completely along their defensive dirt walls, and loudly started singing traditional holiday carols into the freezing dark night. Cautiously, the brave British soldiers loudly sang their own festive songs right back across the heavily bombed dirt wasteland known as No Man's Land. Eventually, brave men from both deeply divided sides slowly climbed out of their secure muddy trenches without carrying any dangerous loaded weapons and nervously walked straight toward each other in the freezing middle. These hardened combat veterans warmly shook hands and generously exchanged tiny, precious gifts of stale tobacco, sweet chocolate, heavy warm coats, and fresh alcohol with the exact same men they had been aggressively shooting at just hours before. The exhausted soldiers even managed to organize massive friendly games of soccer right in the middle of the heavily destroyed battlefield, using empty tin cans and wrapped bundles of dirty rags as an improvised ball. For a few incredibly magical and totally peaceful hours, the absolute horror of the massive global conflict completely vanished as the brave young men laughed and shared pictures of their loving families back home. The furious senior military generals sitting safe far behind the deadly front lines were absolutely horrified by this sudden outbreak of peaceful human kindness and violently ordered the heavy shooting to immediately resume the next day. The beautiful spontaneous truce was never allowed to happen again, but it perfectly proved that deep, basic human humanity can somehow survive even in the absolute darkest moments of brutal warfare. Like and subscribe for more amazing historical war facts.